Hey everyone, welcome back to my latest video. Today we'll be going over the damage increase in Lords Mobile. So there's been a shadow update in Lords Mobile. It wasn't announced or anything like that. There hasn't been any huge updates in Lords Mobile other than, let's say, the map and stuff like that. But there wasn't any huge familiar updates or counter updates or whatever in the last couple months, but the damage in Lords Mobile has increased. We're walking back from people with like 30 million troops. Shouldn't be walking back from these people, or at least we weren't walking back from them before. It's not like we've got anything updated. We need to get new gear or new jewels or anything like that in the game, or like anything that would break the game like this. So I'm wondering where all this damage came from. So it must have been a back-end update where they increased the damage, didn't tell anybody about it. I have noticed, though, obviously, mostly from this account. So this account was the one that took the gangbang in the previous video. You probably saw that. Again, that was supposed to be me testing this new update, or this update here, just to see how much damage is going on. But obviously that turned into a whole other thing. I'm not going to get into that. That was in the previous video if you want to go look at that. But again, this update would, or this attack that happened will actually help shine light on this damage upgrade, because this account has not changed in the last year. This account is basically the same, haven't changed the familiars, haven't changed the base stats. The troop comp is pretty much the same as attacks I've been taking for the whole last year, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just started taking more damage. Like, I'm not sure why. Again, if you guys do remember that one video I did where that one day where they increased the damage and everybody was walking back from everyone, if you want me to go actually post that video, I will post that video so you can go back and look at that. That was hot fixed a while ago because everyone was complaining. You're like, oh my god, no one can take a rally. I think something like that has happened again, but at a smaller scale, so people didn't notice quite as much, but the damage has increased like not tenfold, but quite a bit. So I'll go over some reports and actually show you some attacks from the last year, post counter update and all that. So nothing major has happened since then. These will all be past the 60% counter, what's called, or yeah, wherever the counter update, the counter damage update, where it has gone up to 60%. Obviously, nothing has happened since then. We've got some new castle stars and stuff since then, but there's like 10% updates, which aren't going to be doing crazy amounts of damage. You might be seeing like 10, 20k damage increases from these tiny updates, but what we are seeing is 300k, 400k damage increases over what people are doing on solo attacks, keep in mind. Obviously, rally traps are something totally different. I totally noticed on my rally traps too, the amount of damage you're taking is what the heck? I don't remember taking this much damage. But yeah, with these solo attacks too, like they've increased so much. I'll take a look at the first report. So this one is from September, what was that, 14th this year. So just a couple of months ago, this was actually the first attack I took that I noticed the damage increase, because normally I do not take reds on this account when I take hits, even from counters, unless, let's say, someone ports next to me who's like a max account. The last kind of person who would have gave me reds, actually the only person who would have technically gave me reds on the account before this hit was NPS Nash, and he has over 1,000% infantry attack. This person, Lundgren, I would have guessed they had maybe, I don't know, they've obviously changed their name since then, so I can't find them. But I do have the videos, so I can go back and look at them. But I was guessing they had about 800% attack, and all of a sudden they gave me 200k reds on a full counter. I was like, since when can someone with 800% attack give me 200k reds? No, because I mean, I took a hit from Wolf Basil, who probably has like 900%. He set full tier 5 and did 650k on a full counter. I'm like, yeah, there's no way this guy's doing 837k. Again, he sent infantry. Can I go look at the report? No, okay. Battle report is expired. It's been more than a couple months, but I think I have this on video, so I can go to try and find that video for you as well. But again, this was an 837k on a full counter. This was the first time I noticed it. This was in September. Again, I wasn't solo trapping much on this account for a couple months before that, so the update could have been a month before, or I can't pinpoint the actual date, but it wasn't like before that. It was within the last couple months, so it hasn't been a long time, but yeah, it was the first one I noticed. And then obviously I took that massive gangbang, from or what was supposed to be a solo attack thing. But again, I was in my construction gear here with my leader, so SS Doom came in, did 1.1 million damage. Okay, so there's a massive difference between, let's say, the 750k damage that Nash did to me and 1.1 million with no real updates in between other than a couple castle stars. Because again, castle stars might add, let's say, like 10%, 20% attack. At most, 20% attack's nothing. That's like popping an attack boost. So popping an attack boost, you don't all of a sudden do 400k more damage on a solo attack. It doesn't happen that way. And that's saying Doom even has as good a stats as Nash, because Nash's account was just like maxed with Baron jewels. I know that. So I don't know how many what's called jewels and stuff this account has, but it probably has maybe a little more HP. But the HP and attack, again, we're not talking like 400k damage. We're talking like 50k damage, maybe difference, but 1.1 million, what is this? Like, and I have 9.1 million troops at this point, so it's insane. Then there was Moist who came in and did 840. Again, I'm not saying Moist doesn't have crazy attack, like 54 castle stars, not a max account, not a bunch of Baron jewels on the account, 840k. Again, same familiars. Again, Nash also has double 11k heroes. Keep in mind when you're looking at this, he has double 11k heroes. There's no 11k heroes in this guy. He's not sending full tier 5 or anything like that. Then there's Michael here. Again, he's got 40-something castle stars, maybe close to 900, but I would say like mid to high 800s probably, if I had to guess what his stats are. So nothing crazy, not 1,000% attack, doing 750, exactly what Nash is basically doing when I only have 7 million troops. So again, look at this. And then look, yeah, he's doing tier 5, tier 4, so same attack that Nash is going. He doesn't have 11k heroes or anything like that. This was the super Tashi one, but again, that's totally different. Ignore this one because that doesn't, it's not part of what I'm trying to say here, because he was going cav, I didn't have much range left. It makes sense. Again, I haven't noticed a huge damage increase in non-counters. It's just counter damage that's all of a sudden increased out of nowhere. Then they Pyrus me a million times after that, but that's fine. I had a ton of Pyrus protection on this gun. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is actually go back and show you some of the other reports, and you can see how much damage I was taking before this last couple months. Hey, so we are back on the video of this massive gangbang I took probably, I think it was like a year ago actually at this point. This was a couple of months post-counter. I'm pretty sure most people had max counter at that point. And again, I've taken hits since then and been countered, and it's not a big deal. But we'll take a look here. And again, if you guys don't know what the video is, it is the capping all XIX, XRX. I'll put this in the description down below if you want to go watch the video and watch the whole thing. Again, it was about a year ago, post-counter, a couple months after the 60% came out, had this happen. Obviously, Nash and some of the bigger guys had the counters maxed at that point, but we'll take a look here and show you what I'm talking about. Sorry, it's just going to take a second to load. 1 second, we're going to put the volume down. Did I go past Nash's? No, here's Nash's. Okay, sorry. So Nash here, at this point, did 782k. He had about 129 castle stars. Obviously, max mythic champ, had a ton of Baron jewels on this account. Was sending full tier 5, not full tier 5, tier 5, tier 4. Yeah, you can see it, 782k. Again, I took all these hits offline during the video, so I capped literally 30 people offline with my comp while sitting in construction gear. This is post-counter. So again, he was sending tier 5, tier 4. You can see he has a double 11k heroes, pack 5 familiars, all the whatever stuff. So again, he did 782k to my front line at the point, and I think I had yeah, like 3.5 million range. So that was just Nash. I think Wolf Basil also hit me, so just let me just kind of go a little forward here and see if I can find the where is it? Basil hit. Where is it? Kaido. 1 second, I'm just gonna pause it. Okay, so I found the Wolf Basil here. So here it is. So 335k drop here, or 650k. You can see 130 castle stars. It was the Baron at the time, so he's probably has the Baron boost as well. Did 650k on a full counter. Again, this is well after counter's been out. He also sent 372k tier 5, so he wasn't sending, let's say, tier whatever it's called. Yeah, he wasn't sending any tier 4 fodder. Did full tier 5. He has double 11k heroes, doing 650k. So keep that in mind from the hits you just saw, where people are doing 800k with like 800% stats, and now Wolf Basil's coming here full tier 5 doing 650, Nash is doing 700 and something. A lot of these guys, no one else did probably over 400 or 500k against me, I don't think. Maybe once I started getting lower in troops in this, but again, I was running almost 200 mil might at this point when, because again, I wasn't healing for any of these, and all these hits were giving me reds because I was offline. And you can go watch this whole video and see what was going on at the time. But anyways, I'm just going to pause this again, see if I can find one more hit from here, and I'll just be right back. Yeah, so I looked through all the reports of probably last year, all my videos. I haven't really seen a massive increase. The first one I basically noticed was that Lundgren one was the first one that kind of was out of order. Like it didn't really seem like the normal damage that I'd been taking. Actually, no, maybe it was SGK Brawls hit me, also had one that was kind of way higher than I was expecting. I know Brawls has probably like 900% attack, but it was just 100 or 200k higher than I was expecting to take from hits I've already taken on this account. Not this account, the other account I was on, sorry. I changed accounts and messaged Nash because I wanted to ask him when he had counters, just in case for whatever reason, when I got hit that one time, he didn't have counters. But that was 2 months after the full counter came out, and I messaged him. You had counters basically maxed right after the basically came out, and he just replied back yes. So I was kind of waiting on that just so I actually knew, but yeah. Again, Nash, really good account. But yeah, he basically had counters, obviously a double 11k heroes and stuff like that. Probably higher attack than most people have on their accounts just because the amount of Baron Jewels he had. He did 750k. Wolf Basil did 650k. This was back then. And then pretty much for the next like 6 or 7 months, I didn't really notice any difference. And then about 2 months ago, I started noticing on this, or my other solo trap, that I started taking damage on that account, and which I'd never taken before. I never take reds unless it's like a super max account like Nash. Again, even Wolf Basil doing full infantry or full tier 5 infantry and all that, full countering me, only did 650k when I had less troops. So, and then all of a sudden these guys with maybe 900%, high 800s are doing 850k kind of damage to me, and it didn't really add up to what I had seen over the last year. So I started getting really suspicious. And this last gangbang I took, where I took like the first hit I took, I didn't have my leader, took 1.5 million reds. I was like, what? And then the next one where I had my leader because I wanted to test it, he's still doing 1.1 million. I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, at most, he should be doing 700k damage to me. Like, that's where it should be, because I tested that already, and there hasn't been any big updates other than a couple castle stars, so that shouldn't be it either. But then all of a sudden, he's doing like 400 or 500k more damage than someone who has like almost max Baron Jewels. It didn't make any sense. Like, sure, he might have had like 10 more castle stars, but 10 castle stars is nothing. It's, again, you get like 10% attack per castle, or it's called 5 castle stars. So it's really nothing. So, and that doesn't even mean it's like all it is. Anyways, I'm getting a little off a topic. I'm just saying, I've noticed on my rally traps too. I've noticed when we rally people, like I've seen people walking back from 40 million troops. Like, don't give me all that like, oh, the ratio is off and stuff like that. Like, it's 40 million troops. You shouldn't be walking back. No one ever did before, and all of a sudden you are now. It doesn't make any sense. Like, you're obviously going to do quite a bit of damage with the counter update, but walking back from that much, it's insane. Like, it shouldn't be happening. Like, you don't do 2 million damage to someone with 40 million troops and walk back. I don't know. Like, it's insane. Like, even on my like mini Titan guild, we're walking back from people with like 30 million troops, 20 million troops. Like, used to not do that. Like, even post counter, like 6-8 months ago, you weren't doing that, and all of a sudden you are now. I just don't get it. So obviously there must be some update. Maybe you guys have your own kind of ideas and stuff. And I know I've talked to other solo traps and like, hey, I haven't been taking this much damage either. Like, all of a sudden, like, I used to be able to take hits without putting my war gear on. Now I can't, and people are walking back from me. What's going on? Like, nothing's really changed. And I don't know. They did the shadow update. I don't think they'll change it back. I'm just kind of letting you guys know that it has changed. Even you guys can be in denial all you want. It's changed. I have all the reports. I've done all the tests. I've been trapping for the last year. I know how much damage people do, and it's just increased. So just letting you guys know. So that's kind of what the last video was supposed to be about. Kind of got sidetracked with other stuff that happened during the test, which, again, I'm not going to comment on this video. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.